From the Dal Lake, welcome back to our special broadcast. The PDP and the BJP neck and neck for the first position in Jammu and Kashmir. Mufti Mohammad Said's party leading at the moment. Mufti Mohammad Said almost certain to be the next Chief Minister. Will he ally with the BJP? Right now the numbers thrust in that direction. Or could the numbers change and could he end up allying with the Congress? That's the big question on the program today. Let's reintroduce our guests here with me at the Dal Lake. Shujat Bukhari, senior editor and commentator. Junaid Mattu from the National Conference. Nazir Masoodi, our very own. Altaf Bukhari, victor of PDP from Amira Kadal, and Sushil Pandit, Kashmiri Pandit and advertising guru. And of course, Shekhar is still with us, as is Dorab. And let me start by asking Junaid. Omar Abdullah has just tweeted his congratulations to his opponent in one of the two seats that he was contesting, Sonawar. Expected somewhat Birwa, he was always said to have a better chance. We're waiting for that result. But why did he contest from two seats? Did that betray his anxiety about these elections?
Well, from my understanding, I mean, I'm not in the core group, from my understanding of the rationality of the decision to contest in Birwa and in Sonawar, if you look at Birwa, it had a PDP MLA.
Yes.
So I don't know how it can be called a safe seat. To contest from Srinagar,
but he left Gandarban, he left the family stronghold.
And our rationale, you might accept it or cast aspersions on it, was that we have groomed a local leader in Gandarban. And him contesting in Sonawar was the fact that he is a voter in Sonawar. So that was a natural choice. Mr. Ashraf Mir in Sonawar was a strong candidate. I mean, even in the last elections, he lost by a very slim margin. Even in the parliament election, they got a very significant lead in Sonawar. So Sonawar was a challenge that we took on and we tried our best. Birwa, we fought against a sitting PDP MLA, but the decision to contest in central, in Budgam district and in Srinagar district was also based on the kind of planning of the party, electoral planning of the party, and also a natural choice as far as Sonawar is concerned.
Okay, now I want you to look ahead and you wear your non-politician's hat and tell me whether Altaf Bukhari's party will go with the BJP or with the Congress.
It is their prerogative. It is their prerogative. If they have the numbers, which it seems like they have the numbers, it seems like they are an indispensable factor in any alliance that we may conceive. I mean, let us leave it to the people how they digest a PDP-BJP alliance. As of now, they have a right to do it. You're saying it will be problematic. Once they do it, I don't want to prejudge
Nazir,
it.
You want to add to that?
Once they do it, leave it to the people.
Nazir, you want to add to that? Then I'll get Altaf Saab.
Despite Umar Abdullah's denial, they will not align with BJP. If they have numbers, they will certainly align.
So NC would have been willing to do the same.
And having said that, for PDP, BJP is not untouchable as well, because PDP has some old association with BJP, like Mufti Mohammad Said was Home Minister of India in VP Singh government, and that government was supported by the BJP. And one more point. Just few years ago, they had a joint candidate for the Legislative Council in Jammu and Kashmir. PDP, BJP and Panthers Party voted for same candidate. And
Altaf Saab,
I would still hold my comments on this. I think we'll wait for the numbers.
What is your takeaway from this election? How is it different from earlier elections?
It is a fractured mandate. It is a fractured mandate. There is no denial. It's a fractured mandate.
How do you rate the BJP's performance?
BJP has performed well in Jammu. Yes, it is. No denying on that fact.
Okay, Sushil Pandit, you had a question for Shekhar Gupta. Sushil, please go ahead. And then we'll go to Brajesh Kalapa of the Congress. Sushil, your question for Shekhar.
Shekhar, in the previous segment, you asked the BJP leader why not to give up on Article 370 because you've sworn by a constitution which includes Article 370. But that constitution says that Article 370 is temporary and has remained temporary for the last 65 years. For how many years longer will it stay temporary and stay in the constitution? But another issue is the same constitution says that in the directive principles, the state must aspire for uniform civil code. So why shouldn't BJP insist on uniform civil code? Because the constitution mandates it. And because constitution mandates temporariness of the Article 370, it must do away with it because it has become almost permanent in the past 6.5 decades.
Okay, let Shekhar respond. Shekhar, please.
Look, I'm not a constitutional expert to go into intricacies of this, nor are you. So let's leave that aside. Let's talk politics. First of all, even if Article 370 has become permanent, I think the more important thing is it's become redundant. So what is redundant? You can either leave it because removing it is a provocation, or keep on making a big issue of it. Frankly, I do not believe that Article 370 is any issue right now. That's one. The second thing is, look, this constitution directive principles, after all, the founding fathers, people who wrote the constitution, wrote directive principles as directive principles because these are meant to be non-mandatory. If you start treating directive principles as the mandate of the founding fathers, then you have to start with prohibition first of all, right? And all kinds of things will come in. So, you know, these are platitudes. You know, all men and women should have good moral character, right? Directive principles are like that. So we cannot pick up directive principles when it suits us and protect fundamental rights, or start damaging fundamental rights where it doesn't suit us.
Barkha, can I please make a point for a minute? Barkha, the constitutional provision also required that even if the central government scraps, I think, Constitution 370, the state government also has to approve it.
Directive principles are like platitudes.
The state government of Jammu, the state legislature, that's right.
The state assembly has to ratify it, and I can't imagine
just
that
the
ever
center
happening,
can't do
but
it.
of course with changing equations inside
both
the
have
assembly,
to do it.
But frankly, Article 370 is today totally immaterial. It's no issue at all. It's been diluted so much over time.
Vikram Aditya, Shekhar, you're saying it's a non-issue, but I imagine if the PDP ties up with the BJP, they will seek a guarantee that there's a moratorium on this Article 370 debate. Vikram Aditya saying, given the
I think first
of the PDP,
BJP should ask PDP for a guarantee that the insurance amendment bill will be passed. Who's going to amend this constitution in this parliament?
Okay.
Have a heart.
Okay. Vikram, please respond. Vikram, if you have to tie up with the BJP, will you seek guarantees on issues like the Armed Forces Special Powers Act and Article 370?
You know, these are very critical issues to people of Jammu and Kashmir, Barkha, and they have to be discussed. But what I think the most important at the moment is to be able to provide a stable government in J&K. That is absolute priority. And we must look at a common minimum development agenda, like I mentioned, regional development agenda, and perhaps keep these issues on the back burner, and an ongoing discussion can take place on them at the same time. But of course, it's for the leadership to decide what call they take.
Okay, Brajesh Kalapa of the Congress, what is your takeaway from these elections?
Barkha, I think the Indian National Congress is very clear in its mind that what happened in May 2014 was something extraordinary, and the gains that the BJP has taken from May 2014 have been squandered by December of 2014. You'll see that the kind of seat projection that they should have had going by the Lok Sabha results would have given them nearly 58 seats in Jharkhand, but they're falling very, very badly short. Again, in Jammu and Kashmir, they would have come up with far large number of seats, and they're again falling short. Even their Mission 44 has gone completely awry, and they are nowhere in the race insofar as this Mission 44 is concerned. So I think it's something which is heartening for the Indian National Congress, because there was a negative narrative which caused our defeat into the May 2014. But slowly, step by step, because 6 months is a short time in the political scenario, for the political scenario to change. And in these 6 months, substantial ground has been obtained, and the Indian National Congress is doing reasonably well in Jammu and Kashmir. In Jharkhand too,
let me give me time to respond to this.
Not gone by the trends of...
Sushil Pandit, do you agree with what's being said by both Rajiv Shukla and Brajesh Kalapa of the Congress that the Modi wave is waning?
I think it's wishful thinking. They should wonder, if Modi wave is waning, where is Congress in Jharkhand? It's going into low single digits. What are they seeking consolation from? It seems that they are not willing to see reality. They must realize that if Modi wave were waning, BJP wouldn't be making such a dent in the valley by securing huge popular vote, if not seats.
But it hasn't got seats.
If not seats.
And we have to wait for the vote
If not seats, vote.
I don't think any popular, from zero if you make go to 3%, it's not a popular vote. Do.
But what's the percentage? No,
BJP
but
has
what's the
replaced
percentage?
Congress actually in Jammu.
BJP has replaced Congress in Jammu.
And PDP has replaced NC.
Okay, let's look ahead. Let's look ahead. What is the big message? What's going to happen, Shujat?
No, I think it's, I mean, I would say that it's still a confusing kind of a situation. But
Yes.
what I would say is that there's a responsibility on all these parties,
Yes.
especially the parties who will get the highest number of seats in Jammu and in Kashmir, to give a stable government to the Jammu and Kashmir state.
But is a stable government possible between two partners who have such ideological differences?
I think, I mean, in the past also, if you look at, because ultimately it becomes a blame and counter blame between one party or the other. But in the past, I mean, National Conference has worked very fairly well with the NDA, because this, once you decide that you have to run the state, then I don't think these are all election issues.
So pragmatism defines politics.
I think pragmatism defines politics, and I would drive our attention towards a very significant statement which came 4 or 5 days back, which Mufti Muhammad Saeed gave in Jammu while addressing a party rally on the last day of campaigning, where he praised Modi, and he said that we need Modi in every state of India. And he also lauded his contribution for holding free and fair elections in Kashmir. So I think when it comes to the, I mean, pragmatic kind of a
ideology
setup,
will not be the determining factor.
I mean, you have seen that how BJP has abandoned Article 370,
Yes.
and you have seen that how different Modi's speech was at Sher-e Kashmir Stadium.
Yes.